So welcome back. We'll continue with the Z transform. We'll start with some problems on how to find the Z transform of some commonly used signals. Okay. First signal x of n equal to del of n. Find the Z transform. So first start from the equation of Z transform. What is x of Z? X of Z is summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into Z raised to minus n. That is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity del of n Z raised to minus n. What is del of n? Del of n is unit impulse signal, and which is equal to 1 for n equal to 0 and equal to 0 for n not equal to for all other remaining values of n. Okay, so substitute that. That means in the summation del of n has a non-zero value equal to 1 only at n equal to 0. Substitute it so that the summation becomes 1 into z raised to minus 0. Or z raised to minus 0 is again 1. So the summation becomes equal to 1. Now when we specify or when we find the z transform or say the z transform of any signal, for the an important thing that you should note is the Z transform will always be associated with the region of convergence, specifying where the Z transform exists. It's not necessary that for the entire Z plane the Z transform exists. In some regions the Z transform of the sequence may go to infinity. In those regions Z transform doesn't exist. So you have to correctly specify the region of convergence when you specify the Z transform. In this case, for see, it exists only at n equal to 0, isn't it? Sequence has value only at n equal to 0, and there is no restriction on Z. Whatever be the value of Z, you will get the Z transform as 1. That means the region of convergence for this sequence del of n is the entire Z plane. Okay. Next, so when you say it's entire Z plane means including 0 and infinity, you will have to draw. Okay. So next signal x of n equal to u of n. Start from the Z transform equation. Summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z raised to n. Replace x of n with u of n. What is u of n? U of n is unit step sequence which is equal to 1 for n greater than or equal to 0 and equal to 0 for n less than 0. So the summation for the negative values of n, u of n has 0 value. So you need not consider the negative values in the summation. So the summation can be rewritten as summation n equal to 0 to plus infinity z raised to minus n, where x of n is equal to 1 for n 0 to infinity. For all values of n from 0 to infinity, x of n takes a value equal to 1. So your summation becomes summation n equal to 0 to infinity z raised to minus 1 whole raised to n. What does it imply? It is nothing but sum of infinite terms of a geometric progression series or GP with common ratio z raised to minus 1. Now what is the sum of n if you have n terms of a GP? What is the sum of n terms of a GP if the common ratio is r, and suppose r is less than 1, the common ratio r is less than 1, then the sum of n terms of a GP is 1 minus r raised to n divided by 1 minus r. Okay. So that means here r is z raised to minus 1. When you replace in that sum term r by z raised to minus 1, you will get 1 minus z raised to minus 1 whole raised to infinity divided by 1 minus z raised to minus 1. Now what is z raised to minus 1 raised to infinity? Z raised to minus infinity. Z raised to minus infinity is 1 by z raised to infinity. That is 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity is nothing but 0. Okay, so you will get the sum of infinite terms of a GPS 1 by 1 minus z raised to minus 1. Now provided here we have taken that r is less than 1. Only if r is less than 1 we can use the sum expression as 1 minus r raised to n divided by 1 minus r. If r was greater than 1, if r was greater than 1, what is the situation? The sum will be r raised to n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. But in that case, you have your infinite terms of the sum of infinite terms is considered. So if you have a common ratio greater than 1, then sum of infinite terms of that GP means it goes to infinity, since r is greater than 1, that you have already studied all about it. So you will have to consider r less than 1 case alone and only here. So, the condition that you have considered here is r less than 1. So, r less than 1 means z raised to minus 1 is less than 1. What is z raised to minus 1? 1 by z. Okay, so modulus or magnitude of 1 by z is less than 1. That means z is, if you take z to the other side, you will get z greater than 1. So your region of convergence for the unit step sequence for the z transform of u of n is z greater than 1. So z greater than 1 means, as I mentioned earlier, you will have to uh, represent the z transform in your uh, in a graphical format, that is in pictorially, that is by one second. Yes, yeah, this is how you represent your z transform, sorry, ROC. Represent it on the z plane. Your x-axis represents the real part of the z plane and the y-axis represents the imaginary part. You draw a circle. This is a circle, okay? Draw a circle of radius 1. That is, this circle represents mod z equal to 1. And your ROC, what you have got now, the ROC is mod z greater than 1. That means all points in this plane which lies outside this unit circle comes under the ROC of the Z transform of U of n. Okay. In case of del x of n equal to, first problem, x of n equal to del of n, irrespective of irrespective of the value of z, the entire z plane forms the ROC in this case. Okay, and in the case of x of n equal to u of n, the z transform of u of n, for the z transform of u of n, the ROC is the region outside the entire region outside the unit circle. Okay. Now we'll come back to the next problem. Take down the next problem. You will have to do it on your own. X of n equal to cos omega 0 n. What is cos omega 0 n? I'll give a hint about this. E raised to j omega 0 n plus e raised to minus j omega 0 n divided by 2. Okay. Now start from the Z transform equation and complete it. You will have to get your answer will be, I have done it for you. Please check if whether you get the same answer. Okay. You will get an answer in this way. The Z transform is 1 minus cos omega 0 Z raised to minus 1 divided by 1 minus 2 cos omega 0 z raised to minus 1 plus z raised to minus 2. Okay. So there is another concept that you have to consider, that is, now we have seen what is Z transform, isn't it? Now there is another concept known as unilateral Z transform. Unilateral Z transform means in the Z transform we have considered the equation as sum x of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n into z raised to minus n. Now this is bilateral Z transform. Because you have considered the range from n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Unilateral Z transform is given by x of z is equal to summation n. You have already learned unilateral Laplace transform. I hope you remember. Summation n equals 0 to infinity x of n into z raised to minus n. Okay, this is unilateral Z transform. Now, so you do one thing, in the previous problem x of n equal to cos omega 0 n, you find the unilateral Z transform and see you are getting the result what I have mentioned. Okay. Okay. So with this we'll stop here. The next portion is properties of Z transform, will be continued in the next video.